Our aim was to demonstrate how the world's democracies are ready and able to address the world's toughest problems, offering solutions and backing them up with concrete action. The G7 will combine our strengths and expertise to defeat COVID, minimise the risk of another pandemic, and build back better, fairer and greener for the benefit of all. Alongside our partners, the G7 is now engaged in the biggest and fastest vaccination programme in history, designed to protect the whole world by the end of next year. My fellow leaders agreed to supply developing countries with another 1 billion doses, either directly or through other channels, of which 100 million will come from the UK. The world's most popular vaccine was developed here, and the express purpose of the deal between the British government, Oxford University and ASTRA-ZENECA was to create an inoculation that would be easy to store, quick to distribute and available at cost price or zero profit to protect as many people as possible. The results are becoming clearer every day. Over 500 million Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines have been administered in 168 countries so far, accounting for 96% of the doses distributed to developing nations by COVAX, the global alliance that the UK helped to establish. With every passing hour, people are being protected across the world and lives saved by the formidable expertise that the UK was able to assemble. But all the efforts of this country and of many others, no matter how generous and far-sighted, would be futile in the face of another lethal virus that might escape our efforts. So the G7 has agreed to support a global pandemic radar to spot new pathogens before they begin to spread, allowing immediate containment. And in case a new virus gets through anyway, our scientists will embark on a mission to develop the ability to create new vaccines, treatments and tests in just 100 days compared to the 300 required for COVID. Even as we persevere against this virus, my fellow leaders share my determination to look beyond today's crisis and build back better, greener and fairer. If we can learn anything from this tragedy, we have at least been given a chance to break with the past and do things better and do them differently. This time, as our economies rebound, we must avoid the mistakes we made after the financial crash of 2008 and ensure that everyone benefits from the recovery. The surest way of our future prosperity is to design fair and open rules and standards for the new frontiers of the global economy. So the G7 will devise a fairer tax system for global corporations, reversing the race to the bottom, and strive to ensure that new technology serves as a force for prosperity and hope, strengthening freedom and openness. My fellow leaders will act as one against an increasing injustice, the denial of an education to millions of girls across the world, by working to get another 40 million girls into school by 2025. I'm happy to say that the G7 agreed to provide more than half of the $5 billion sought by the Global Partnership for Education to transform the prospects of millions of children in developing countries, and £430 million will come from the UK. Our duty to future generations compels us to protect our planet from catastrophic climate change. And every country in the G7 has promised to achieve net zero by 2050, wiping out our contribution to global warming from that date onwards. And to achieve that target, we will halve our carbon emissions by 2030 compared with 2010 levels. The G7 resolved to end any government support for unabated coal-fired power generation overseas and increase and improve climate finance between now and 2025. We will consecrate 30% of our land and sea to nature, protecting vast areas in all their abundance and diversity of life, giving millions of species the chance to recover from the ravages of recent decades. And it is precisely because safeguarding our planet requires global action that the G7 will offer developing countries a new partnership, the Build Back Better world, to help construct a new and clean and green infrastructure in a way that is transparent and environmentally responsible. There is no contradiction between averting climate change and creating highly skilled and well-paid jobs, both in our country and around the world. We can and will achieve both by means of a green industrial revolution at home and green infrastructure abroad.